I agree with that 100%. I think that, you know, one of the things we have to do, man, is we have to, you know, going back to that number real quick, but I think we spent $370 million on books.
Okay.
On books. That was the lowest thing of all those things you named. I think it was $375 million.
And those won't even be.
Books.
Those are not rich literature books. You're not talking about this.
Absolutely.
You're talking about the sensationalized ghetto books.
Absolutely.
Sex, drugs, going to jail, who shot who. They took the rap video and put it in a book. And now our children are saying, well, at least I'm reading. But look what you're reading. You read for 4 reasons. You read to improve your working vocab. You read to improve your general knowledge of facts and information. You read to improve your verbal communication. And you read to improve your written communication. You're not going to improve any of those reading How the Pastor Stole My Wife. That book has nothing in it that's going to help you prepare for the Indiana State examination.
That's real. So, man, you know, as a black business owner, one of the few guys, even in the city, who has a network, black-owned, black-operated, one of the things I suffer with most is the support. What do we do to change that? Because right now, you know, we have a lot of avenues to where we can work together. But, you know, all of a sudden you think about the history of, like, our music, when we couldn't perform in certain clubs, and all of a sudden, you know, the Apollo is now not ours, and here we have the Walker, but we don't have a lot of black shows there because we were so driven to get in their clubs that our clubs start closing down. We don't support our own. How do we get to the point? Because I look at this and I'm like, this is media. You could come here, tell your story, be real about it, the whole nine, no one's shutting you down. But I don't get that. You know, so how do we go about? What would be your advice to a brother like me to get that type of support?
I don't think black business puts enough pressure on the black church to support their enterprises.
There you go.
The black church is where black people are. That's where they belong to. It's the only institution that still gets our undivided attention and financial support. I don't see the black business community in any city that I travel to, and I've been to just about every major, I don't see the black business community sitting down and demanding that the church be accountable to black businesses, because the church is a business itself.
Absolutely.
So we're not saying that you have to hurt your own economic agenda to support ours. We're simply saying circulate that dollar a few times before it comes to church, or circulate that dollar a few times after it leaves the church. I also think black businesses need to sit down with church and get an accounting of who are their vendors. Who's providing the church with its services? Who's your travel agent? Who's doing your transportation? Who's your security? Who's cleaning your windows? You understand? Churches contract on average with about 12 different vendors. Are any of them black? You're a black church, but you're not putting nobody to work. And that's my biggest criticism of black church. Not religion, politics and economics. If you're bringing in $3 million a year, $10 million a year, $20 million a year, you don't put a single black person to work. So all this money is going into a white bank where they're going to put it to work. They're going to take our white Jesus money and they're going to gentrify us out of our own neighborhood with our white Jesus money. The least you can do is be putting some folks to work. The other thing, I think black business needs to organize with itself better. Every black business is an island. I see very few mergers. I see very little cooperative economics taking place. I feel that all black businesses in every city, once a month, if not weekly, should have a Black Wall Street event where all black people in your city know where they can come once a week or once a month and support all the black businesses at the same time. We got to understand something. 75% of our children are being raised by single-parent black mothers. They don't have the luxury of driving all over Indianapolis to support every black business. The essence of business is convenience. So bring all the businesses together under the roof of a church, under the roof of a coliseum, and let everybody buy black. Make it easy for black folks, because we're not a loyal people. Okay? So you got to make it easy for us to come under the same roof at the same time and buy black. So it needs to be organized. Number 2, black businesses need to do better with their customer service.
That's real.
Okay? How often do you get a birthday card from your black business? Is there a phone number or an email you can call if something was wrong with the service or the product? How often do we reach out and say Happy New Year's? We shop with white folks because even though they can't stand your guts, they make you feel good about spending your money with them. They have frequent shopper cards. How many black businesses have a frequent shopper card? If you want to attract the black dollar, you just can't open up shop and say, I'm black, come support me.
Right.
To the opposite, you actually have to market your product better because black people still believe the white man's ice is colder.
Oh.
And the other thing, black businesses need to do better with their market research.
Okay.
You just don't open up a shop and say because I'm black it's going to thrive.
That's real.
If you compete with 10 white businesses or Arabs or Latinos or whatever the case may be, you may not be successful because although you're the only black person, you have other people selling the same product, okay, and they're probably selling it for less than what you can sell it for because they have those relationships that allow them to do that. So we don't do enough market research. We don't see who else is competing with us, who else is in the area. We just open it up because that's where we want it to be.
Yeah.
Capitalism is supply and demand.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure there's a demand for what you want and that your demand has something unique to offer that attract the black shoppers to you as opposed to the others because we are not culturally loyal. See, if you were Chinese, it wouldn't matter how high your price was.
That's real.
Chinese going to buy from Chinese because they have cultural commitment. The Arab going to buy from the Arab. The East Indian going to buy from the East Indian. The Irish going to buy from the Irish because they have a cultural criteria and a commitment. We ain't got that.
That's real.
We ain't got that. So you have to make it easy for black folks to support you.
That's real. I'm loving that right there.
You all are full of shit. Forgive my language, but you're full of shit. You ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. How in the hell you collect $14 million every Sunday? How in the hell does the black church collect $14 million every Sunday and you ain't putting no black men to work and you got the nerve to talk about you having a Father's Day celebration at church, you having a Father's Day breakfast at church, you having a Father's Day lunch at church, you having a Father's Day dinner at church. We want to celebrate all the fathers. We want all the fathers to come to church on Father's Day Sunday. You full of shit. How many of you giving out jobs to those unemployed black fathers in church today? How many of you pastors and bishops and trustees and clergy, how many of you are helping the fathers who came out to the Father's Day service today? How many of you are helping them get jobs? You're full of shit.